What it do, y'all? We here. Um, just wanted to check in with y'all real quick. We had some news hit the waiver wire today and some Atlanta Hawks talk. So I wanted to get on here and go over it and give you my thoughts on what I think about the trade that went down today. Now, I was out today riding around, getting it, running some errands, taking care of some business, and I get a text on my phone that says Ricochet gone. Well, what the heck? Ricochet gone. So I go online, go on the X, and our boy Shams, he hit us with the news. Oklahoma City Thunder are trading all defensive wing Lou Dort to Atlanta Hawks in a three-team deal that sends 3 second-round picks to OKC and former number one pick Zachary Ricochet to the Dallas Mavericks and Ryan Nembhard to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I kind of have mixed feelings about this because I believe that we might have gave up on Zachary a little bit too soon. I feel like we might have gave up on him too soon. I think that the kid's only 21 years old. He was a number one overall pick from the Hawks, and we've seen flashes of Zachary Ricochet having big time games for us. We've seen it with our own eyes. Him going off for 30-point games, 35-point games, 28-point games, multiple 6 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 8 rebounds, block shots, shooting 35% from three, 38% from three. We've seen that with our own eyes. And that's only 2 years in to his young career. Now, people are going to say that he regressed and he's not what we thought he was going to be and that he has no dribble moves. That was the number one thing that people had problems with Ricochet. But I believe every time that Ricochet had a chance to, he got going, started putting up some points, putting up some good numbers, a freak accident would happen, the kid would get hurt, and it would just like ruin his momentum. And it'd be like a snowball effect. Now, we all remember the dunk he had when he fell and landed. He got undercut and he got hurt on that. And but let's be honest though, he was really drafted to play next to Trae Young. When we took him at the time, we're looking at okay, we're gonna put a shooter, a 3D shooter who can get rebounds, shoot the ball, get some dunks, get some putback dunks to play next to Trae Young to create more space for Trae. Another long body, long arm guy. So that was the reason why we took him. Not counting the fact that Sarr didn't want to come to the Hawks. Now a lot of people were up in arms and saying, "Hey, we should have drafted Sarr anyway. We should have took Sarr, no matter what he says, and bring him to the Hawks." But I get the Hawks' point of view is we don't want to have no guy on our team that doesn't want to be here. We just why? Why do we want to have that kind of attitude in the locker room or someone that could make things not as smooth as they should be? Because we're trying to put a bunch of young guys together and compete. So with that being said, obviously Trey's gone. Now our boy Zach is gone. And now we went out and we picked up Lou Dort. What do I think about the Lou Dort pick? I believe that Lou Dort is really good as far as a defensive pickup. He's physical, he's strong, he's gonna get into you. He's gonna you know, he's gonna talk some stuff. He's gonna box out. He's gonna do the little things and the things that we need from a player on this team. Now, my only problem with Lou Dort is that I am worried about I'm worried about his scoring. His rebounding is so-so, but his scoring is what worries me the most. Now, you'll look at his stats for the year, we can look at his stats and say, he averaged 8.3 points per game last year, 3.6 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and he shot 38.5% from the field last year. Now, you'll look at it and be like, well, Ricochet didn't really do no better. I mean, you could say that, but I believe you had more upside with Ricochet on the offensive end than Lu Dort. Now, if you go back and look at Lu Dort's his series against the Spurs in the playoffs, I went back and I'm looking at the stats right now. So if you look at the stats for the playoffs, let's look at game one. In game one against the Spurs, that's the game they lost in OT. In 2 OTs, that's the game they lost. Lu Dort played 22 minutes in that game. He shot 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. So he shot 20% from three-point percentage, and he had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and he scored 5 points. So in a playoff game, he scored 5 points for you. So now let's at game 2. Let's see. Did he bounce back in game 2? Game 2, that's the game that OKC won, 122 to 113. Lu Dort played 16 minutes in that game. He shot 3 or 4 from the field, 75% from field goal, 1 or 2 from 3. So he shot 50% from three-point percentage, 1 or 2 from the line. So he only shot 50%, obviously, from the line because he only shot 1 or 2. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 8 points. So game 1, 5 points. Game 2, 8 points. All right. So now look at game 3. Game 3, they won 123-108. He played 23 minutes in this game. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure some injuries started happening, and so his minutes did go up in this game. In 23 minutes, he shot 0-1 from the field goal, 0-1 from 3. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and he scored 0 points. All of 0 points in game 3. In 23 minutes, shot the ball 1 time. Now let's look at game 4. In game 4, that's the game they lost. He played 17 minutes, shot 1 or 2 from the field, 0-1 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 2 points. So he scored 2 points in game 4 of the playoffs against the Spurs. Now look at Lu Dort in game 5 against the Spurs. In 18 minutes, he shot 3 of 7 from the field, so 42%, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, and 7 points. So he scored 7 points in that game. So let's look at that. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games so far, Lu Dort scored single-digit points in every game. He even get 10 points for you in any of them games. All right. So let's go and look at game 6. Right? Game 6 they lose. Lu Dort gives you 23 minutes. He plays 23 minutes. He shoots 2-11 from the field, 1 of 9 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 block, 1 steal, scored 5 points. 5 freaking points. He scored 5 points. Let's look at game 7, the make or break it game. What did Lu Dort do for the Oklahoma City Thunder in game 7 when everything was on the line? You got multiple injuries. What did he do? He played 16 minutes. He shot 1 of 4 from field goal, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and scored all 3 points. 3 freaking points he scored. So this is playoff basketball. This is the most high intensity situations you're going to be in is in the playoffs, right? And let's be honest. Lu Dort scored single-digit points in 7 games in the playoffs against the Spurs. Does that get me excited? No, that does not get me excited at all. Now, what I do like from what I see from these games, he did do good on the boards. 3 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 4 rebounds, and then it went down 1 rebound, 1 rebound. So that I do love because we all seen when we played the Knicks, we got killed on the boards and we couldn't get a rebound to save our life. So that is encouraging. That right there alone, that will make up for some of the things Zach would give you as far as getting on the boards, getting rebounds, stuff like that. We're just not going to get put back dunks. That's definitely not going to be happening with Lou Dort. Now, people are talking about his defense. So in 7 games, he had 1 block. In 7 games, he had total of 3 steals, 2 in one game and 1 in the other. So in 7 games, he had 4 turnovers. So where's that defense? Because I remember when I was watching them games, is the guards on the Spurs were getting what they wanted, hitting big 3-point shots, you know, uh, spreading out Oklahoma City Thunder and having their way with them. Now, the only hope for this situation is that we get a veteran, we get an expiring contract, so that money will come off the books if the Hawks decide they don't want to resign him, or they can use him as a trade option in the middle of the season if somebody comes calling, right? Um, but my only concern is I hope this doesn't, you know, what I'm trying to say. I hope this doesn't get in the way of Fleming's growth and being able to play and get good minutes coming off the bench. I hope that doesn't get in the way of that because we need Flemings out there, and this is the time for Flemings to get out there and let the kid play. Let him show us what he got. Let him get comfortable out there. Get more comfortable with different spots on the floor to shoot from. That's what I want to see. I want to see Flemings out there playing. I don't want to see Lou Dort out there getting in his way because people are going to say Lou Dort's like a small forward. He can play small forward and stuff like that, which I get, or shooting guard. But he is labeled as a guard. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, right? 27 years old. So he's still pretty young in the prime of his game. So the only thing I can say is hopefully the fact that he's coming here in Coach Quinn's system, that he'll be able to take his game to another level, and us playing at a fast pace will be a benefit for Lou Dort to expand his game and, to make improvements and show us what he got. But from what I've seen on OKC, he always had the green light. He was always able to shoot. I know you got SGA, so the ball ain't going to always be in Lou Dort's hand, but Lou Dort would get a lot of wide open shots, and he just wouldn't hit them most of the time. So I'm hoping that him coming here in a new situation, playing in a fast pace where we want to get a lot of possessions, get the ball out of hoop, get it up court, and move the ball and take the open shot if it's there. So I'm hoping that, Lou Dort will, spread his wings and fly in this new system that he's in with Coach Quinn. Now, in the part of the deal too, we did get Nembhard. Now, Nembhard is interesting. So Nembhard is interesting pickup because he's still young. I think it's like his second year in the league, I want to say. Let me see. Let me look up his stats. Ryan Nembhard. So last year, let's see. Last year, he averaged 6.6 points, 2.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 41. He shot 41% from the field. So I do love that. I love that 41% shooting. We'll take that all day long, right? So okay, so last year was his first year in the league. So he played 60 games. He had 60 games played. When it looks like that was his first year. It just says he played 60 games, averaged 19.5 minutes per game, shot 41% from field, 35% from three, 80% from the free throw line. He averaged 2.2 rebounds per game and 0.4 steals per game. But he averaged 1.4 turnovers per game. So that we would love to cut that down. So now don't forget, he was the guy that did have 23 assists when he played the Chicago Bulls on April 12th. So that was obviously towards the end of the season. Probably some guys weren't playing and stuff like that. But 25 or 23 assists in a game is just crazy. Like that's just amazing numbers right there. It doesn't matter who's playing. To get 23 assists is huge, right? So yeah, that would be interesting to see how he fits in. Is he going to see the court? Is he going to play? That's what we don't know. We don't know what Coach Quinn's going to do. Because we all know Coach Quinn does not really play the young guys like that. He is more about playing the better. He's going to play the veterans first. And he's going to lean on them more. We saw in the playoffs last year, and the one thing that irked me the most about Coach Quinn in the playoffs last year was the fact that he stuck to a small rotation of guys, and he didn't go off of that. Even when things were going bad or we needed to make a change in the lineup or try something else out, he just stuck with his regular guys. We ran like 7, maybe 8-man rotation if we were lucky, but it was nothing crazy. We didn't do nothing crazy. It was all he stuck with his regular guys and kept it moving. Now, when we were playing the Knicks, on the other hand, they were running 9, 10-man rotations, and the Knicks ran that through the whole playoffs. What did that do? Keep guys fresh, help with different matchups, throw different looks at the other team, at the Hawks, and other teams that they played, and helped in different areas they needed help in. Now, I'm not going to be mad about Anzi being aggressive and making moves and trying to improve this team, but I can't say I agree with giving up on Ricochet so soon when he's only 21 years old to see what the kid could do. So that's going to be interesting to see. Like, I won't be surprised if Ricochet goes to Dallas and he starts playing great and he starts giving you 15 to 20 points per game. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens. And you know what? You're going to hear, change of scenery, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear about none of that. It's the fact that he's going to get the opportunity, and he gets to show what he worked on in the summer. If he's growing, and I believe he will keep growing and getting better. You got to remember, Ricochet made a big growth spurt from when he was playing overseas to the NBA now, so he's still learning how to play into that body, his new height, his new length, and also they had him put on muscle and size. So not everything's going to come all together at once. But, at the end of the day, I'm a Hawks fan in and out. So whatever the GM sees fit and whatever direction we're going to go, I'm riding with the Hawks. I'm rolling with it. We're going to keep rolling. And we're going to the wheels fall off, I really hope that this move helps us and makes us better and stronger. And this doesn't hurt us on the offensive end, because I get the whole defensive side of the game and that we're going to be better defense. We're going to be locking people down. That's great and all, but at the end of the day, we need to score points. We need to hit our open shots. We can't have guys out here, we can't have CJ McCollum out here getting double teamed and other guys can't hit open shots when it's there, because that's what hurt us the most. The two things that hurt us the most against the Knicks in the playoffs was guys not hitting open shots when they got them, CJ McCollum struggling with the double team. Once they started putting that double team on the third game on and trapping, CJ McCollum struggled. Not hitting our free throws. CJ McCollum struggled on free throws and not getting rebounds. We gave up so many second chance opportunities in those games, which is a big reason why we lost. When we go get big stops, we didn't get the ball back when we were supposed to be. So those are things that the Hawks need to clean up. Now, the Hawks did add a lot of more size this year, rebounding, physicality. They did add those things. So that is a plus, and that is encouraging. Now, like I said, just please, 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 please do not let Luke Dort being on this team get in the way of Fleming's getting valuable minutes and getting out there and playing. So I need Fleming's to be that backup point guard coming off the bench and showing us what he has, getting accumulated to the NBA style play. Now, no matter what, I'm excited about this year. I believe that the Hawks could win the same amount of games they did last year, or even maybe win a couple more. I do believe that, but we all know what everything matters. The number one thing is injuries. We gotta try and dodge injuries, because injuries hurt us a lot last year, but we were still able to go on that great run at the second half of the season. So, we need to have guys healthy. We need to have guys playing. We need that Emory health staff and all the new and improved technology that we have. We need that. We need it all to be put into play. We need it to work. We need guys out there ready to go. So, with that being said, I just want to check in with y'all. Ricochet, he's out. Lou Dort's in. Nembhard's in. And I really believe this ain't going to be the last move for the Hawks. I believe something else is going to happen. We got way too many players on the team. We're still stuck with Cardio Kispert's contract. That's the one thing that drives me crazy, is that Cardio Kispert's still on this team. I'm just hoping the basketball gods look out for us, and somehow, some way, Cardio Kispert's putting in the most work this offseason, and he turns into like Kyle Korver. That's all I can hope, because from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he going anywhere, and we're stuck in that contract. And I really believe no matter what, Quinn will play Kispert. It's going to happen. And unfortunately. But, let's hope that he makes the improvements that needed. The coaching staff and the organization gave a lot of these guys the game plan of what they needed them to work on this offseason, and they take those next steps. I also believe that somebody like Alexander Walker will make even bigger improvements again this year, because if you look at his interviews and the things he said that a lot of the things that was expected out of him, through the later part of the year and into the playoffs, caught him a little off guard, and he wasn't really ready for, because that wasn't the role he expected to come here to the Hawks and play. He was supposed to be the 3-and-D guy, hit them open shots off of Trae Young passes and getting wide open looks and getting in the paint, making some nice plays, but they asked for a lot more out of him. And at times he was able to produce and shock us, and other times he struggled a little bit. But I believe Alexander Walker is going to make some good improvements too. And please, 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 we need Dyson Daniels to find that three-point shot, which I believe is definitely possible. And at the end of the day, honestly, it might just be all in Dyson's hands. It might be in all Dyson's head of why them three-point shots are going down. Because, once you start missing a little few, it's like a pitcher that can't throw a strike no more. You start getting the yips. And next thing you know, you can't hit nothing. You can't throw it into the ocean. But we've seen his best buddy, Josh Giddey, develop a three-point shot. So I don't see no reason why Dyson Daniels can't develop a three-point shot. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got for you. Just wanted to check in. Once again, number one pick from 2 years ago. He's out the door. And we got Lou Dort in the building, Nembhard in the building. We'll see how this plays out. I'm a trust in Anzi. Let him cook. I believe this ain't the last move that we're going to make. We still got to do something with Kuminga. So we're going to see what happens with that. I wouldn't be surprised if Kuminga comes back. Maybe, but I know Kuminga just wants to start, and I don't see that happening for him on this team. But, we'll see what happens. And, and then we'll see who gets these two-way deals, which I hope Kobe Johnson gets a two-way deal, because I believe he deserves it, and he showed the reason why he should get the two-way deal. We don't need 3 guards on a two-way deal. We just don't need that. So please, Anzi, let's get Kobe Johnson that two-way deal, and I'll be ready. I can't wait. October coming soon enough. We'll be preseason basketball will be here before you know it, and let's just hope the guys are out there working, getting ready for the season. Maybe CJ McCollum will be even better this year, be even more used to Quinn's system, and guys will get used to playing together, and we'll be ready to ball. I know the East is stacked this year, so it's not going to be easy, but I do believe the Hawks can be a top 6 seed. The Atlanta Hawks can be a top 6 seed. I definitely believe that. I know Detroit was good and all last year, but I believe that's, a team that the Hawks could beat in a 7-game series. I know Miami's going to be good because they got Giannis and when they got a superstar. They got a great coach, so he always, has a good competing team. But let's see what they have around them. Why can't the Hawks beat them? Hawks still play pretty decent against Milwaukee with Giannis on that team. So, yeah. So, like the video, comment, subscribe, y'all. This is my first time going live. So, still new to this, going live, and I'm going to figure out how to, do some picture-in-picture, share my screen with y'all and stuff. I was trying to, play with it before pause. I was trying to play with it before I got on live, but I really couldn't figure it out, and I just want to have no hiccups while I was out here on live with y'all. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button for the next time I go live. We will be covering not just Hawks, but we will be covering more with the Falcons, Braves, and we're going to be covering that stuff, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. We got 8 weeks till Falcons start football, and the Braves just won a series against the Rangers this past weekend after the All-Star break. So let's get it. Let's go. Let's stay true to Atlanta. Let's rise up, and let's do it for the A. Just remember, do better, look better, feel better. Always keep getting better because it's never too late to start. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.